Hello there, folks. Jen Bunk here, and welcome to another episode of the People Stack podcast. And before I get into the topic of the week, I want to address what's going on behind me here. No, we are not sponsored by Gentle Giant. We don't have sponsors. We are moving, and there's really is no way for me to turn the camera that doesn't show just like an immense amount of boxes, or like it could just be staring right at the bright light. And I tried that last week and that actually didn't work very well. So it's actually better here, and just know that we're actually moving in a couple of days. And the next time that I record this will be for my brand new office. It may be a little bit more sparse than this is, but until I get some stuff up on the walls and everything. But we're very excited to be moving. That's what's going on in the background for those of you watching on YouTube and on the Facebook group. But for those of you who are listening, you have no idea what I'm talking about, so I am going to get on with it. The topic of the week is negativity and counteracting that negativity vortex. And look, if you're listening to this currently, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm recording this on July 6th, 2020, and there is a ton of negativity going on right now with what's going on with the world. The coronavirus pandemic continues, political fighting continues, fear continues, blame, shame, anger, rage, just a sense of it's a global sense of uncertainty. It not just around coronavirus and all the politics surrounding that, but also problems of racism, of systemic inequities that are bubbling to the surface now. And there's a lot of it, and you cannot, even if you're someone like me who I carefully curate my YouTube channel, I carefully curate my Facebook feed to do the best that I can, so that when I choose to take a little bit of a social media break, I choose to do that in a way that it fills me with joy and with gratitude and with an optimism, but also so that I can keep my eye on what's going on in the world, so that I don't have my head completely stuck in the sand. So even if you're like me and you carefully curate this and you just want some unbiased information about, show me the facts, please bring me the data and not the drama, it's just not possible right now. It's all drama. It's all drama. So the question becomes, how do you make sure that you don't let this negatively affect you? We've had a lot of clients ask us lately, given all of the stuff that's going on in the world, how do I stay sane? How do I stay in that identity as an amazing leader? How do I make sure that I'm there for my team? How do I make sure that I'm not so overcome with anger or with fear or with doubt or with uncertainty or with rage or whatever it might be, or with shame or with guilt? How do I make sure that I don't fill myself with that? Because I know that if that starts to affect me negatively, I'm not going to be able to be there for my team, for my family, for my loved ones. So how do I make sure that this doesn't happen? And so we're going to focus on the positive more in this week's episodes of the podcast, because the only way that you can counteract such a negative force and negative vortex is to focus on the positive. But look, I think that there's a way to do this that's right, and there's a way to do that it's wrong. Look, we can't just say focus on the positive, be happy, nothing's going wrong, because then you feel like you're sticking your head in the sand. You feel like you're ignoring what's going on in the world, and we don't want to do that. For sure, we don't want to do that. We want to stay informed citizens. We want to know, and we want to know how we can help. We want to know the data. We want to know what we can prepare for. And if we just say, just stay positive, everything's great, it's all sunshine and rainbows, but it's not. And that can actually, that kind of positivity can actually be even more toxic than just focusing on the negative all the time, honestly. Because at least if you're focusing on the negative, I'm not saying to only do that, but if you were to choose the lesser of two evils there's a third option, and that's what we're going to get to. But if those were your only options, option 1 and option 2, option 1 is to just be toxically positive and just be positive all the time and don't talk about it and don't even be aware and don't even acknowledge and don't even accept all the negativity that's going on in the world right now. That's option 1. Option 2 would be basically accepting, yep, this is it. It's negative. Life sucks right now. It's terrible. If you had to choose between the two, I would recommend number 2, because at least then you're living in the reality of what's going on. And then there would also be some sense of connection with other people because they're going through the negative. And if you just act like everything's sunshine and rainbows and unicorns and frosted Lucky Charms life, then there's not going to be a connection unless you find a group of people that are like that. And then you're just delusionally optimistic. And that's not what we want, right? We want to be optimistic. That's why there's a third option. But what happens when we get so stressed and so sucked into that vortex of negativity, whether it's watching YouTube videos and CNN and C-SPAN and Fox News or whatever it might be, or whatever you choose to watch, or whether you're on Facebook and you see your friends talking about whatever it is that they're talking about, their opinions around what's going on in the world right now, about politics or whatever it is, you can't escape it. And it can affect, it absolutely does affect your mindset. It affects your emotional well-being. It affects who you are. It affects how you show up. And it's absolutely going to affect how you show up at work, and it's going to affect your career. It's going to affect your career. That's why we're talking about this on a career coaching podcast, is because if you have felt yourself getting sucked in by this negativity, then if you haven't yet, you're definitely going to start seeing and feeling and experiencing how this affects your work and your career. Some of you already have. Some of you have already been laid off. Some of you have already been fired. We talked about getting fired. It was last week or the week before. And sometimes it's for all the wrong reasons. It's not because you weren't underperforming. Some of you are already dealing with the challenges of remote work because your company just doesn't know how to deal with it. And how do you promote yourself? How do you evangelize your excellence? How do you even manage a team remotely? Especially when I know that a lot of you are managing international teams as well across multiple different time zones. So you might never get to talk with them, or when you get to talk with them, it's like 2 a.m. your time, or it's 10 p.m. your time, or depending on what time zone we're talking about. And you're just so mentally drained, and you just stack all of this on top of each other, and the fact that we're surrounded by people, surrounded by this vortex of negativity right now. It's funny. I see it. This vortex comes up, and sometimes it's obvious. Like when you watch the news, or when you scroll Facebook, or even Twitter. if you don't know what I'm talking about, just go on Twitter for set a timer and go on Twitter for 5 minutes and then stop. I would not recommend going on Twitter at all right now. Unless you're someone who's like, nope, I got this. I can curate it. I have my group of Twitter peeps. That's fine. So sometimes it's just so obvious. But you know what's interesting is that this vortex of negativity, this vortex of fear and doubt and uncertainty, sometimes can show up in really subtle ways. So I actually notice it the most in these subtle ways in the conversations that I have with people. Like, for example, with my parents, they're pretty scared about the coronavirus thing, and we're scared for them. But it's also like we're there to help them. We're there to keep them focused on what they can do to protect themselves. We don't live near them. So we talk to them a lot. And we make sure that they're doing everything to keep themselves safe and happy and psychologically happy as well, and engaged so that they don't feel isolated. And it's a really tricky balance. But we do the best that we can for our parents. But my parents in particular are living in a lot of fear and uncertainty right now. And I can tell just basically like when I talk with my parents, for example, or even other people, other friends, there's just this air of like, it's okay, we're good, and it's kind of like, and I hear that a lot from prospective clients as well. Like people, like we say, oh, hey, how's it going? And a lot of times it's just, oh yeah, it's good, right? And it's just like, and it's not meant to really mean anything. It's just, okay, now let's get to the juice of the conversation. But now it's like, how's it going? Oh, well, Oh, how's it going? How are you coping? It's okay. Best as we can. It's given what's going on. I'm okay. Right. And it's not, I'm not hearing as much of, how you doing? Oh, great. How are you? Hey, how you doing? Oh, wonderful. I hope it's the same for you. How you doing? Oh yeah, it's been awesome. And work is really challenging right now, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm not hearing any of that anymore. It's almost just like this and it's not even like a complaining either, although the complaining sometimes comes later, right? So I'm explaining this so that you can check in on yourself. Like, how are you, the words that you're using and how you respond are an indication of how you're feeling right now. And there's like this sense of resignation, or maybe you're feeling it on your team, or you're seeing it in your family members as well. It's just like, it's okay. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And that is even more than like extreme expressions of like fear or rage, like that sort of, it's okay. That's even worse, because that's like, I'm giving up. What else is there to do? I have no control. I'm just going to lean back and see what happens and let this vortex just kind of suck me up. Like, even if you're angry, at least that puts you into action, or you're feeling like some sense of rage. So that's actually what I'm seeing a lot of, is that, I can't do anything. Right? I was actually talking with a business colleague, and he asked me, so in the questions that you ask yourself and the questions that you hear other people asking are really, 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 really telling as well. The question that he asked me was, so how is coronavirus negatively impacting your business? Listen to the frame of that question and the intent of that question. It's a doubt-inducing question. How is coronavirus negatively impacting your business? There's an assumptive negative there, that it is. In my response, it's not. It's not. And he was almost like surprised by that. Like, oh, really? Like, what world are you living in? Right? And then I explained what we do, and I explained how everyone always needs help, and I explained how we're here to empower, and we're here to tell the truth. And for our clients are the ones who want to get to the truth now more than ever. They want to fix their careers now more than ever. And so he's like, I get it. Okay. And it was really cool to have that conversation with him, because I felt like his eyes were now opened up to possibility. That the possibility that he doesn't need to get sucked into this vortex, even though for his business it was just shitstorm. It doesn't have to be. And so be careful of the questions that you're asking. Be careful of your focus. And look, the only way that you're going to be able to really counteract this vortex of negativity, beyond watching your focus and making sure that you're asking certainty-inducing questions, abundance-inducing questions. Hey, how awesome is your business right now? Would have been an awesome question for me, right? Hey, how awesome is your career right now? How many new opportunities are available in your career right now? Because everybody's working remotely. That's a certainty and abundance-inducing question. How awesome is it to be alive right now? To live and thrive through this? That's an abundance-inducing question. So beyond that, that's in the day-to-day. The one powerful shift that you can make to rocket ship yourself out of that vortex of negativity and to almost make it disappear is to focus on the positive. But it's not just from a la-di-da kind of way. What it is, the shift that I'm going to invite you to make is to focus on your dream. Focus on your dream career. Focus on you as a badass leader and what you're going to be able to create, the legacy, the impact, the positive change that you're going to be able to create. The dream career, the dream work life, the dream lifestyle that you are going to be able to create by thriving through this challenge. This challenge that we are going through right now is a gift. Do you want to survive through it or do you want to thrive through it? And if you want to thrive through it, you focus on the dream. You focus on what's possible. You enroll yourself in the possibility of what actions you're going to take and what wins you're going to win in your career and in your life in the next week, in the next month, in the next 6 months, in the next year. You focus on the possibility. That is how you live a life where you're aware of the vortex. It's there and you see it and you can take a peek into it every once in a while just so that you know what's going on, just so that you can track it and that you can then make decisions about what actions to take and how to move forward and how to make sure you're helping people who are stuck in that vortex and to enroll them in the possibility of living the dream that you are. That includes your team, for example, right? That includes your family, that includes your colleagues. You keep an eye on the vortex. It's over there. But you are suspended above it because you are focused on what's next, not what was before. And you have your eye on enough of what's happening right now so you can make intelligent choices, so you can make wise decisions, so you can take inspired action. But that right now is propelling you to a better future. And it's propelling your team to a better future. It's propelling your family to a better future as well. That's the only way to do it. We're not talking about being, strictly speaking, delusionally optimistic. We're not talking about sticking your head in the sand and just saying, la-di-da, oh yeah, I'd love to earn $10 million a year and live in Hawaii. Oh yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Mm-hmm. No. This is what I want to do. And I will do it, and I'm committed to doing it. Right now, I'm earning $150K a year as an IT manager. I know that what's possible and what I'm committed to creating in my career is earning $175 a year plus bonuses while leading my team to massive impact by showing the company that I work for the value of IT, the value of tech, and feeling awesome while I'm doing it. Promoting myself, promoting my team, and creating that time abundance for myself and that financial abundance for myself so that I can treat my family to that vacation to Disneyland that we've been putting off for so long because we couldn't justify it. Because we will get to travel again. There will come a time when we will travel again. And I'm going to make sure that my son, my daughter, has the support to go to college, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to save $100K in her college fund. And I'm going to treat my husband to an amazing new car, to an amazing new guitar, to an amazing new fill in the blank. What would your wife, your husband, your partner, a family member just love to get from you? And you create that. And you say, what do I need to do in order to do that? What does commitment really look like? And if you're committed and you want help to not only escape the vortex of negativity, but to rise above it, then it's time to book a call with us. thepeoplestack.com/book. And what we're going to do on that call is we're going to talk about what's not working. We're going to get to the truth of what's not working in your career right now. So again, we're not ones to stick our head in the sand. We want you to understand and have crystal clarity, not just about the surface level owies, not just like the surface level scratches and bumps and bruises that are there. We're going to talk about that, but we're also going to get to the root cause of what's not working in your career right now. And we're going to talk about where you want to go. We're going to help you dream. What dream career do you want to build? What dream lifestyle do you want to build? How much money do you want to make? How much of an impact are you committed to making? And if we're 100% confident that we can help you build that dream and get to that next level in your career, then we'll talk about what that looks like. But if we're not, or if for whatever reason it's not a fit, you're still going to have so much clarity around what's not working and the root cause of it and where you want to go. We're here to help. We're here to help you rise above the vortex of uncertainty and fear and doubt and rage so that you can focus on your dream even now. One of the most challenging times to focus on your dream, because other people are going to look at you and they're going to be like, you're crazy. Dream right now? No. I'm just worried about paying rent. That would be my dream so that I could pay rent. And you're like, no, I'm not going to settle to that level. I'm going to have 6 months of rent saved up. You want to come along with me for this dream? Or do you want to be over there complaining? It's your choice. That's what leaders do. We inspire others by our certainty, by our commitment to building something better for the future. So if that's what you want, go ahead and book a call with us. thepeoplestack.com/book. That is it for the day, folks. And I will talk to you again really, really soon. Take care.